And good afternoon, everybody. This is Christopher Bennett with the National Weather Service here in Slidell, Louisiana, giving you your weekly weather briefing for Thursday, August 6th, over the next six to 7 days across southeast Louisiana and southern Mississippi. Real quick, going to jump into the summary, actually key messages right now. It is summer, so that will continue to remain over the area. Look for warm to hot temperatures daily and scattered showers and thunderstorms daily, at least through the weekend. Things may change a little bit next week, but not too much change. It is summer, so we don't usually see that much of a change. Main concern over the next 3 to 4 days are a few strong storms. I can't rule out 1 or 2 rogue severe storms. Biggest impacts look to be occasional to frequent cloud-to-ground lightning, brief heavy rain, and gusty winds. Going into next week, we do see a ridge start to build in from the east. That will change things a little bit, mainly from a warming standpoint. We'll see temperatures, especially afternoon highs, rise maybe a degree or two across the area, looking like mid-90s by mid to late week. However, the only real change we'll see with showers and thunderstorms will be possibly a little bit less coverage or just later development. And then from a tropical standpoint, no tropical concerns at this time. We're going to go to our next slide, but to show you kind of the radar that's actually occurring right now. So as you can see, this is the current radar across the area. A lot of lightning, mainly kind of between Walker, Louisiana, all the way up towards Tylertown, Mississippi, kind of that area, really impacting I-55 and over into Washington Parish. We're also seeing some other activity across the river parishes. That's more so associated with the sea breeze earlier, and then the sea breeze and lake breeze kind of colliding with each other over the city of New Orleans once again. So a few strong storms out there. Looks like kind of over the South Shore and maybe going into southern Mississippi. And then we had some isolated storms over coastal Mississippi associated with the sea breeze. Those have since dissipated. I wouldn't be surprised to see a few more develop, especially over Pearl River County next few hours. And then some of the North Shore probably see activity start to increase a little bit more over northern St. Tammany and to portions of Tangipahoa. And then we'll see activity kind of drop back down towards the lake during the late afternoon and more so early evening hours before everything starts to dissipate. Going back to our briefing here, as I already mentioned, the scattered storms throughout the remainder of the afternoon and going to early evening hours, along with that sea breeze becoming active or staying active for at least through 4 or 5 o'clock today. Biggest concerns, again, are occasional to frequent cloud-to-ground lightning, brief heavy rain, and then gusty winds. If we get a severe thunderstorm, the main concern is going to be damaging, like downburst winds. So, maybe a couple trees here or there, and a few larger limbs from any of those storms. Otherwise, no real concerns at this time. Mentioned already, tropics. Here's tropical weather outlook. Nothing expected to develop over the next 7 days. Fingers crossed that we continue to stay that way. Look at your rainfall forecast for the next 7 days. That typical summer pattern remains in place. We will see daily showers and thunderstorms. These will be what we call diurnally driven. Mainly the activity will be over the inland areas during the day, especially the afternoon into early evening hours. And then after that, they'll either completely dissipate or it transitions back towards those showers and thunderstorms moving over the Gulf waters overnight. High pressure does start to build in from the east, so that will likely start to suppress the shower and thunderstorm development a little bit, not completely. Again, we'll see daily storms, but probably see more like isolated to widely scattered and not quite as, not necessarily widespread right now, but we won't see the coverage across the area like we're seeing yesterday, today, and throughout the weekend. Rainfall is not going to be that much. Obviously, any one thunderstorm is going to have the potential to produce a lot of rain in a very short amount of time, but overall, we're looking at widespread 1/4 to maybe 1 1/4 inches. Not a lot of rain, but at least it's not completely dry. The completely dry could become a concern, though, in the next few weeks if we don't get any significant rain, as we kind of talk about the drought conditions in a little bit. Looking at our outlook here for temperatures, the next 6 to 10 days, at a typical summer pattern we're in is going to remain. So expect warm, hot temperatures again, daily isolated scattered showers and thunderstorms. That's the best chance of keeping us cooler, is seeing those storms, but with that ridge building in from the east next week. We'll probably see a little bit of reduction in the shower and thunderstorm activity and a slight increase in our afternoon highs. This could become a problem as we get into mid to late next week, as we still have very high relative humidity values over the area, but temperatures coming back into the mid 90s, maybe lower 90s, could start to increase the heat stress across the area and may start seeing heat advisories needed once again. Looking at the precipitation outlook, though, because of this typical pattern and that ridge building in from the east, it's kind of what we call a dirty ridge, which means not necessarily a lot of drier air moving in. It just suppresses the thunderstorm development during the day a little bit. We're needing to heat up just a little bit more to get the sea breeze activated. But we shouldn't be completely shut off from the rain. Just going to be a little bit more isolated and widely scattered going into next week. The hazards outlook. I mentioned it already. This is an 8 to 14 day hazard outlook. The biggest concern looks to be the heat. As we start to see those afternoon highs climb back into the mid 90s, maybe upper 90s, combine that with the high relative humidity values, we'll start to see that heat stress bounce back up, and again, may need some heat advisories by the end of next week. The drought conditions. The only reason I'm bringing this up is that because it was a very wet May, June, even into early July, but we've been quite a bit drier the last couple weeks, and you combine that with the extreme heat that we've had recently, that's allowed some areas to dry out pretty quickly. Right now, there's not much that is of concern, as we only have D0 over 3 different areas, with the largest being kind of southwest Mississippi over Wilkinson and the mid counties. A little bit of what land is down there on the far southern portions of Plaquemines Parish, some D0, and then the far northeastern portions of Jackson County, Mississippi. If we don't get any significant rain in the next few weeks, we could see these drought conditions really change quite rapidly, as you probably already noticed. A lot of the ground is starting to kind of dry out. You'll see some grass that's really been stressed, turn that light green to even brown or yellow colors, I should say. So just kind of keep an eye on this. No concerns right now, but watch real closely to see if we get any real significant rain over the next couple of weeks. Otherwise, we will definitely see these drought numbers start to increase. Quick summary of the impacts. It is summer. Look for warm, hot temperatures every day. Look for scattered showers, thunderstorms throughout the weekend. Maybe a little bit more isolated to widely scattered coming into next week. Main concern from any of these storms would be a few strong to maybe 1 or 2 severe storms with occasional to frequent cloud-to-ground lightning, brief heavy rain, and gusty winds. The ridge builds in next week, starts to suppress the thunderstorm development a little bit, but not completely. Do see the afternoon highs climb a few degrees, probably back into the mid-90s. And we may start to see the heat stress concerns pick back up with heat advisories possibly needed late next week. As from a tropical standpoint, there is nothing out there, and nothing is expected to develop over the next 7 days. Thank you very much, and everybody have a great weekend.